The Roman road was built against water, not against traffic. The thing that destroys a road is not weight. It is water. Water gets under the surface, softens what is below it, and then every wheel that passes presses the softness into a hollow. The Romans understood this completely, and almost everything strange about their roads follows from it. They built the road higher than the ground beside it. That raised bank has a name, the agger, and it exists so that water runs off rather than sits. The surface was curved, high in the middle and lower at the edges. Ditches were cut along both sides to take the water away. Underneath, layers, large stones at the bottom, smaller above, then gravel or fitted paving on top, each layer smaller than the one below it. The famous straightness is a side effect. A straight line is the shortest way between 2 points that a surveyor can lay out with sighting poles. And Roman engineers preferred to climb a hill rather than curve around its foot, because a curve is longer, and longer means more drainage to maintain. The distances were marked, a stone at every Roman mile, 1,000 paces, about 1.5 kilometers. And in the Forum in Rome, Augustus set up a gilded column, the Miliorium Aureum, the golden milestone, from which the distances on all those stones were counted. The roads that still exist are the ones whose drains were kept clear. Where the ditches filled in, the road went. You can stand on a Roman road today in a dozen countries. You are standing on a very old argument about rainwater. The road was rebuilt out of stones small enough to fit in a mouth. By the 1700s, most roads in Britain were mud in winter and dust in summer. Coaches sank. Wheels broke. The usual answer was to lay a foundation of large stones and hope. John Loudon McAdam was a surveyor of roads near Bristol, and his conclusion was the opposite of the usual one. He said the soil underneath will carry any weight you like, as long as it is kept dry. So do not build a great foundation. Build a thin, tight, waterproof crust and drain it. To make the crust hold together, every stone had to be small and angular, so that the pieces locked into each other under pressure instead of rolling apart. His rule for the size became famous: no stone larger than would fit into a man's mouth. Overseers were given a ring gauge, and later a set of scales. A stone over 6 ounces was rejected. Men sat at the roadside all day with small hammers, breaking rock to size. The surface was laid in thin layers and left to be compacted by the traffic itself. No binder, no tar, nothing but broken stone and the shape of the camber, which he kept, because water was still the enemy. Roads built this way were called macadam, and within 20 years they were being built in Europe and America. The method stayed unchanged until the motor car arrived and sucked the dust out of the surface with its tires, which is a different story, and the next one but one. Under the black surface of almost every road you have ever driven on, there is still a layer of small, angular broken stone, doing exactly what he described. The tar on the road began with a barrel that fell off a cart. Macadam roads had one bad habit that nobody minded until cars came. They gave off dust. Iron tires and hooves pressed the stones together. Rubber tires at speed pulled the fine material out of the surface and threw it in the air. Villages on main roads lived in a permanent gray cloud, and the usual treatment was a horse-drawn cart that sprayed water all day in summer. Edgar Purnell Hooley was the county surveyor for Nottinghamshire. In 1901, he was walking on a road near the Denby Ironworks and came to a stretch that had no dust on it at all and was firm underfoot. He asked. A barrel of tar had fallen off a dray there and split, and somebody had shoveled waste slag from the furnaces over the mess to cover it. The tar and the slag together had set into a surface. He went away and worked out how to do that deliberately rather than by accident. Heat the tar, mix it with slag before laying, roll it. He patented it in 1902, and the product was named for the two things in it, tar and macadam. Tarmac. The mixture on modern roads is different. Most of it is now bitumen from oil refining, with grated stone, and the trade calls it asphalt concrete. But the principle he found on a wet road in Derbyshire is the one under your car. Small, locked stones, held by something sticky and black, so the surface stops breathing dust. The road did not become smooth for comfort. It became smooth because the air in the villages was unbreathable,